Welcome everyone to Lone Wolf Prepper Channel for Dukes of Hazzard Friday Night Live. What a perfect name, considering the situation this country's in. You know, it's gone past the TV show. You know, us patriots, I guess we're the characters of both the Dukes and our current government, federal government, is Boss Hogg, Roscoe, and all the other cohorts he's got in there. But yeah, things are getting really silly. You know, even the corruption, the Boss Hogg, how corrupt they were, and obvious it is. I mean, we're really getting to see it now, aren't we? Even the Democrats are getting to see it. Which we're going to talk about the Circus Act tonight that we all get to see. Good evening, Carol. Nice to see you. Anyway, it's been a while. Yeah, YouTube's really starting to hide me. But anyway, getting on about the Dukes, how everything's just basically like Hazard County, Boss Hogg, and obviously the only difference is the Dukes of Hazzard was entertaining. What we're going through is not entertaining. Okay? Not at all. But a little bit on the channel here. I got a new idea on how to promote the channel. Something that no YouTuber has ever tried in a way that YouTube cannot control whatsoever. Actually, I got 3 ways of doing it. And, I'm going to try those 3 ways, and my name's going to get out there. The way I'm going to do it, I am definitely going to put myself out there in the front. Being a lone wolf, whatever it takes to correct the problems, I'm willing to sacrifice. But yeah, I got a few new ideas to promote the channel. And we're going to see how it goes. One of them I don't know if they'll let me do. But it's ways that no other YouTubers tried, which I can't believe. So we'll see how it all goes. But this is a way that YouTube cannot control who I talk to and who I tell Lone Wolf Prepper about. And I got a way where I can really spread the Lone Wolf Prepper channel. So that's a channel update. Channel's growing. Appreciate all the subscribers. I realize YouTube doesn't like some of my shorts. Like Carol. The short I took yesterday when I had to go to Ogallala of Lake McConaughey. I call it Lake Mac in the video, but it's Lake McConaughey, which was made from putting the levee across the North Platte River and then running across the road and seeing the other side, right? YouTube won't even put that on the feed. And I'm thinking, what is so wrong about that? But you could say the second meaning of that, where you got a wall of water that's just being held back, and if it crashes through, your nice little world just completely falls apart. I don't know why. That's all I'm coming up with, but that's one they don't want to promote. So whatever, YouTube. Carol, what'd you think of that? Joe Biden's the best president ever. Well, that was a hard one to do. Yeah, YouTube won't put that one on either. I don't know why. I was just complimenting Joe Biden. But didn't it sound ridiculous? Anyway, but no matter what, the channel's still growing. My thoughts of the day are definitely getting reactions. So it's like I say, they're out there to make you think. People need to start thinking. Then we can start solving the problem instead of people letting other people do the thinking for them. We all got a brain for a reason. Everything I say in my... Yeah, I know YouTube is... The thing with YouTube is when we correct all these problems. Okay, the first thing that Donald Trump needs to do, one of the first things he needs to do, is break up the social media platforms. Facebook, any social media platform that's got an American company has to be broke up. Okay. People like me, I don't know if you watched that video I did about the right to be heard, but it's not right to put us in phone booths. And you got people who pick and choose who get the microphone and who get the silent booth. Okay. Yeah, we still got both right to speak, but only one group is being heard. But YouTube, I do not know why they don't press the cancel button. These other YouTubers, Prepper Nurse, Prepper Nation, you name them. They're afraid to say something. That's why I did that short about when you're afraid to say something, you censor yourself. Because I'm so sick of YouTubers, especially preppers, that I don't want to say it this way or I gotta dance around this. Screw that. I'd like to ask these YouTubers, if YouTube gave you a choice, where it'd say, okay, we'll let you say whatever you want to say on YouTube, and we're going to run commercials on your channel, and we're going to make money off your channel, but we're not going to give you a single dime, but we'll allow you to spread your word. I would jump at that. How many other YouTubers would jump at that? I'm just curious. Anyway, let's get into the show. The Democratic Party under the big top with the Joe Biden sideshow. How else do you say it? It's an embarrassment. I mean, to the point where I almost feel sorry for this guy. They keep pulling him out. I mean, they kept him in 2020 hidden in his basement. And now they're trying to parade him around when he's even more feeble than he was 4 years ago into the public, trying to pass him off as a person that's capable of being president. What if that was your father and you saw him on stage like that and you saw those people doing that to him and you were his child, a normal child, you would stop it and get him proper help. Okay. It's sad. Our enemies are seeing this. All I want to know is who's really in charge of our country. Because I know it's not Joe Biden. But, they're not even calling them cheap fakes anymore. Remember, was that not 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago? The debate, was it only 2 weeks ago already? 2 weeks in one day? Wow. A lot of things have happened. But they're not even called cheap fakes anymore. But they're trying to pass it off like he's doing great. This one kid, I keep forgetting his name, a Democratic pundit, been to the White House and stuff. I'm sure you know him. And it just as I don't know, he's 21 or whatever, and saying how Joe did so well and answered, yeah. And he answered the questions right. I mean, when you are looking at somebody, if you got this kid next to me who thinks Joe did good, and I'm watching the press conference right beside him, and I'm looking at him stumble, call Trump the vice president, and say he's coherent, and they don't call Zelensky Putin. Well, maybe they're all in it together. Maybe it's just one big WWE match or something. I don't know. But anyway, they keep bringing JoJo out. Why? We all see what he's like. Every time he comes out, it's worse. Okay? But, why they keep bringing him out, I guess that's going to be a video for another day because we don't know the reason yet. But there's got to be a reason behind it. No way would you make somebody look incompetent publicly, especially the president of the United States. They've been hanging around him for years. They know what he's like. whatever. But, the whole world, especially the Democrats, most of them, see the truth now. The truth of JoJo's condition. You really can't blame him for getting dementia, okay? But, we can definitely blame the people that are exploiting him for their own little personal nasty needs. I know it's impossible to watch it. I mean, I think he's going to have a medical emergency every time I'm watching him on TV. They got him so drugged up and high at first, his heart's probably racing 1,000,000 miles a minute. But it's hard to watch. I mean, because we're intelligent people, okay? And when you can see what's going on, it's a sham, okay? Yeah, I know. Watching the debate, I lasted about 40 minutes into that. The press conference, it just lies to, in the gaffes, in the lost, and and it was a scripted press conference, which of course, trying to make it's like it's a Trump press conference where he shows up in the press briefing and gives a 2-hour press conference just off the cuff. That's not Joe Biden. But he's definitely suffering from dementia, and they can't hide it no more. And when he gets so angry, I mean, I'm not a medical professional, but I'm sure Prepper Nurse One could sit there and give out all the signs that he shows of dementia. These world leaders, they got advisors right next to them. I'm sure they watched it. Wouldn't you? If you were Putin, wouldn't you have watched that press conference? You want a good laugh, the most entertaining hour you had that day? On the expense of the American people looking just absolutely stupid? We're an embarrassment in this whole world now. Complete embarrassment. When I traveled the world as a Marine, we were taught never embarrass the United States. Don't ever do anything to embarrass the United States. That's just going out in town, not getting drunk in the bar, too drunk and making a fool of yourself trying to get back to the ship and stuff. Stuff like that. We had to wear proper attire out in town and stuff. But, then we put Joe Biden on primetime TV, and let's not make America look bad, right? Bad, weak, corrupt. That's what it looks like to me. They need to stop bringing him out. Because every time he gets on in front, he looks stupid, makes the Democrats even cringe more, and he's becoming the Trump campaign's biggest asset. It's crazy. I can't believe I'm living in these times. To where all Donald Trump has to do until November, if he wants, is play golf, improve his golf game, and watch Joe Biden and the Democrats like the rest of us. Why would he do anything to screw that up? His best campaigning is sitting back and watching like the rest of us. Yeah, hold your rallies and stuff, but the Democrats are making Trump look so good. Maybe better than he actually is, because they're just more corrupt than people actually knew. Whatever. Okay. But they got JoJo in charge, okay? I noticed too, we nobody's talking about the second debate, are they? I'm kind of curious about that. You figured they'd be discussing that every once in a while, maybe once a week on the show, discussing the second debate that's coming up, what they should do to prepare for it differently than they did the first one. Nothing like that. Just a curious observation. Especially if they're going to stay with JoJo. But, that then we lead to them turning on Joe. Big donors aren't going to donate if Joe's on the ticket. When they call and top Democrats call to replace him, congressional Democrats and Senate Democrats wanted to distance themselves from him because they know it's not going to help in the election. But, it's 4 months away. Less than 4 months away. Who are they going to replace him with? I mean, it's getting way too late. And the thing is, he's the best Democrat they have. They should have thought of this 4 years ago when they stole the election for him. What are we going to do in the next 4 years? Okay? When Joe's obviously not going to be able to run again. But they all hope and pray, What was Barack Obama's thing? Hope and change? Hope and change. I hate that word, hope. I hope somebody else does something for me so my life is better. Hope. Hope in one hand and crap in the other one. Let's see which one gets filled up first. No, I haven't heard the new Trump song. Where'd you see that at? Just Google the new Trump song on YouTube and I should be able to see it? Oh, yeah. The Democrats give us so much ammunition. One of them's got to start talking and so much ammunition. Could you imagine if we lived in the old United States, we're actually able to insult them and tease them and laugh at them for being retarded? Boy, they'd really be in their cry rooms, wouldn't they? But Adam Grant on YouTube. Okay, I'll as soon as I get off here. It's how can I say this? It's satisfying to see the Democratic Party fall apart. It's satisfying to see evil exposed. Okay? And the truth coming out. But what's very unsatisfying is that our side doesn't want to seem to take the initiative and start steamrolling the other side. We just not only need to win, we need to steamroll them. Make them go hide in their holes. The Democrats are giving us a perfect opportunity to do this. But one reason we can't do it because too many Republicans are corrupt in Congress. If we start arresting Democrats, they're going to start after arresting them too. Cleaning house in D.C. is going to be both sides of the aisle. Very much so. Okay? I'll get into that later about can Trump fix the rotten core of this country with our help, of course. But they want to replace Joe. Okay. And they right now with all the money they got $200 billion or whatever. Which Trump's got more, but they got to run Kamala to get that money, right? Well, there's not a chance in hell she's going to win. There's not a chance in hell any Democrat's going to win. I'll tell the Democrats this should be your strategy. Punt, realize you're going to lose, do the best you can, don't go on with the cheat to destroy this country. You're going to have to put your plans on delay for a few years, regroup, for 2028. Because I can tell you right now, if you guys go to tear the country apart now, especially everybody who's seen JoJo the way he really is, you just lost half your support. And I really don't think even General Milli Vanilli's going to follow him. Whatever, he's a fruitcake. Yeah, that's what the Marine Corps come to. Sure, you know General Gray, is he? General Gray would have ate that guy for lunch. One of the commandants that I had when I was in. Got to meet him a couple times. It didn't matter what your rank was. He treated all Marines the same, which was with respect. But all us Marines also knew that he was a commandant. So, anyway. But, she can't win. And also remember, she's incompetent. Wasn't she the Southern Czar, border czar? Boy, how'd that work out for us? Anyway, she don't stand a chance. If they're going to run her, it doesn't matter. They can run Newsom. Talk about a guy who looks like a con artist. That's all I see with him as a con artist. But then again, he's California governor. Probably has to have that qualification. But anyway, one thing about replacing Joe Biden, I don't think the Democratic Party counted on Jill being the way she is. It reminds me so much of the Woodrow Wilson administration. He was really sick in the second term, and his wife basically took over and stuff. And, people say she was the first woman president and stuff like that. Anyway, it's not like it hasn't happened before. JoJo's got to answer the commander-in-chief. Well, that must be Obama. No, that must be Jill. Okay. But, she's the driving force behind keeping him in. So she's really a traitor to this country. Should be charged with, abusing the elderly. Okay. I mean, actually, as American citizens, are we going to allow our president to be brought out like this as a sideshow? When are some medical doctors going to stand in and say this has got to stop? And we got to wait and stop it. He don't want to leave. What do we got to do? The 25th Amendment. Because he can't rationalize. All right? So he can't rationalize. We're all sitting there rationalizing. Joe, you really need to drop out for the good of the country. You really ain't got it there and stuff. He don't think that. He thinks he's a strapping 25-year-old who's ready to sit there and go behind the gym and kick up some whoop ass. The 25th Amendment, Democrats. I realize there ain't much left to Joe Biden, and Camel Toe Harris ain't going to be much. But the Democrats don't stand a chance in winning. And within the next 3.5 months, there could be a major major event where Joe Biden's going to need all his faculties for more than 10 seconds. I'm sure if a president had to give the order to launch nuclear weapons, come on, you guys, knock it off. It would be more than a 10-second. Oh, okay, sounds good. I want to know who's running our country. Who's in charge of the nuclear codes? Who gets called at 2 a.m. in the morning? Because right now, I don't think anybody in the White House or in the Pentagon's capable, intelligent enough. It's got the ability to handle such a decision. So, anyway. 25th Amendment. That's what it's there for. It's not Joe's fault. It's the Democrats' fault for putting him in the position he's in. And then not doing nothing about it. And just getting him up on stage and exploiting him. Making him look stupider and stupider. Would you do that to your father? What a bunch of sick bunch. Come on, you guys, get out of here. So anyway, the dogs are really getting nuts. So anyway, what are the consequences of the Democrats' situation they're in? Okay. Like I say, I really think they need to punt, forget about 2024, lick their wounds. If you want to not destroy the country, they need to stop thinking of themselves. The pendulum's going to turn. It's going to swing. And that's what's happening because, the rest of us were just tired of being lied to, the economy sucking, us paying for wars, a president who can't even remember the name of the country's leader's name, who were given over $200 billion to so far. Okay. I believe Zelensky is our enemy. So at least he did call him one of our enemies' name. But anyway, and they're going to lead us to World War III. We stuck all this money into it. Obviously, there's an end result for it. It's just not to piss the money away. These people have a purpose. I really don't think people understand what World War III is going to be like for this country. We're not going to be immune to cities being bombed this time. And I'm not talking nuclear bombs. I'm just talking conventional weapons. We can't shoot down hypersonic missiles. Okay? They can hit our factories too, our infrastructure. I just don't understand why Americans think that what we do to another country can't do to us. Oh, yeah, they can. You got Russia and China, the big ones, with a lot of support from Iran, North Korea, you name it. Anyway, so I just, World War III is one thing. I just can't believe they're still going with Joe. Because if they actually think that they're going to take it with Joe, then that means the cheat's going to be on. It doesn't matter. Something's going to happen. We all know that Joe can't cheat his way. This is why I say the consequences for it. The Democrats just party being in complete shambles. And we're going to pay for it. And I guess maybe we should pay for it since we didn't do nothing to stop it. Second Amendment, we still won't stop it. Anyway, but World War III. And when we have World War III, these people are afraid of what I say on YouTube because it upsets them. What are they going to do when the bombs are exploding in their front yard? Being sensitive sure isn't going to help you in that situation. One thing I'm afraid of to cancel the election. This keeps going through my head. Like on November 3rd, starting a Tet offensive like they had in Vietnam. To where we got all these friendly, nice foreigners here that are just trying to make a better life for themselves, that don't look like they're military trained or nothing. We could have a serious issue being attacked all over the country in every state, every big city. Who's going to go out and vote? That's my biggest fear. That's the type of terrorist attack they could use. And the Tet Offensive lasted over days. And if you got to worry about driving down your neighborhood and your car getting shot up, you're not going to leave your house. The cops are going to go. The brave cops will be hiding in their police station. 911 won't be answered. Would they actually do that? Would the Democrats actually risk killing thousands of Americans to stay in power? I answer yes. You know why? Because they definitely kill thousands of foreigners, which they considered their enemy. And what I know of my government, federal government right now, they consider me their enemy. So anyway, yes, they would. That's my biggest thing, that Tet Offensive in World War III. Now they're going to be using F-16s I'm sure, to enter Russia. It's crazy. How long do you think Russia's going to have their cities bombed before they've had it, and they're going to start bombing us? And they're going to start bombing the bases the F-16s come out of. Putin, but it's your own fault. Why don't you go into Ukraine and fight the Ukrainian war right now, like you were fighting the Germans in World War II in the second year of 1943? Why don't you start fighting the Ukrainians like that? They want to sit there and say Trump is part of the everybody's in a big party, everybody's in a big gang. Well, I'd say Putin's there too. Anyway, and if they have no election, like I say, that means to me on November 6th, no form of government exists. From the school board, the sheriff's department, the state government, the federal government, or anybody you vote for. Okay? So, but, can the Democrats actually give up power? I don't know. Are they willing to go to prison and give up power? This whole thing could blow up and get crazy. I wish we lived in a sane world where I could look at the election, say, I know how this is going to go. We're going to have a smooth transfer of power, and the guilty over the last 4 years are going to be punished. That'd be a tall order for today, wouldn't it? Anyway, but the guilty need to be prosecuted. From stealing the election, a coup on the U.S. government and the American people. Look at all the stuff that's happened in the last 4 years under Biden. If all that stuff had to be erased or reversed or corrected, made right. That's where it comes up to us patriots' response to this. We live in historic times. And living in these times, we have certain responsibilities to future generations. Just like the men who fought World War II, to give future generations the right to be free. That's where we're finding ourselves in now. And the thing is, the German people didn't see Hitler like the American people are seeing Joe Biden. The corruption. I mean, I'd hate to see how many crimes they've broken. All I know is they're stealing from us. All these taxes going to fight these wars. All these taxes going to illegal immigrants so they can have a free ride. Americans just, I go to work so the government can pull out the American gold credit card to pay for every little whim they want. This stuff needs to be righted. This is not what this country is founded on. Democrats are exposing themselves. And we're all laughing, spending our time enjoying the entertainment. Well, that's good. We need to be spending the time organizing, starting our community action groups. This election isn't going to go smoothly. I sit here and wish that, like I say, they would just prepare for 2028 and realize they're not going to win. But anybody who would parade Joe Biden out like he is and say he's just fine, he got a cold, okay, stuff like that, they ain't gonna give it up. So, our response is we need to take our government back. I wish we'd start organizing instead of watching the entertainment. I want to see more YouTubers get in there and say, hey, this is a platform I want, especially these big ones. Start forming your resistance group, your militia. I don't want to say it like that. You want to organize your patriots, your constitutional thinking people. Everybody's going to have their place in the support of this taking our country back. Okay? The women and the men. This is what we need to do, start organizing. And if Trump is the man to fix all this, how is he? This is why I go for 1776. And this is why I really wish Trump would change his tune and be the leader of the resistance or the rebellion or the return of the Constitution, however you want to say it. Because we're going to send him to D.C., right? He's going to win. We know he's going to win. What if he gets in office or not, that'll be something we have to take care of. But is he going to be able to fix anything? I mean, are people still going to stop piling over the border the next day? No. Are they going to stop spending money like crazy? No. Is the government going to shrink? No. Deport these illegals. You know what I say? Donald Trump, don't deport them. Why should I have to spend my money on deporting them? We already gave them enough money. You give an ultimatum. You got 30 days to get out of the country. If you're still here in 30 days, start building prisoner of war camps like we had in World War II out in the desert and stuff. And you're going to sit there and be a slave to America for 4 years. And then we're going to send you back with nothing. So you're going to piss 4 years of your life away. We don't care. But you know what? I expect some free servitude from these people. That money wasn't for nothing. I don't work so they can sit there and get money. 30 days to get out, or you're going to one of these camps. And any American citizen is allowed to grab one and drag him down to INS. You do that, we don't have to pay for them leaving. It'll be like a tidal wave going the other way. Let Mexico deal with it. Okay? They got a good socialist government. That's all they got to do. And the ones that stay, well, then they can help prop up our economy. Then after their 4-year prison sentence, they get sent down to the border. Bye. And they won't make it through the border again because there's a machine gun nest every 100 yards with concertina wire and stuff. Whatever. Like I said, I was a Marine. I was taught to handle an invasion a little differently than our government's handling it. But I just don't see Trump fixing the apple core. Why was World War II? I say because of Hitler and Germany and stuff. Yeah, I watched, this is from the 40s, Why We Fight, the series, 7-part series the U.S. Army put up about why soldiers were fighting for World War II. And they went into the prelude of war and what happened after World War I, all the industrialists and the bankers and stuff that supported the war. Well, after the World War I, they all kind of went in their holes and hid for a while. Okay? They were never chopped off at the knees. And then they came back when Hitler was in the power and did the same old crap again. The thing is, none of the there were a few German financiers that were in the Nuremberg trial, but now the world bankers. And then they got let off the hook. And now we're dealing with the same crap again. From the from the 1900s. God, these progressive liberals have been at it a long time, haven't they? They sure have. But I just don't believe this system can be fixed. It's too far gone. Two people are too caught up in that money. That money! Remember, to fix anything, all you got to do is throw money at it. Crazy. I'm so sick and tired of hearing politicians. I help my constituents out. I got them more tax revenue, and we're going to stick it at this project. If money solves the problem, then how come the kids coming out of our schools are so uneducated? When they got all the advancements of education. And what do we have? We had blackboards and textbooks. And they have all these fancy gadgets. Just keep throwing money at it. All these brand new schools. Drove by this one small town. Boy, did they put up a nice school and a nice track and a nice football field and stuff. Crazy. It'd be nice if they kicked out some smart students. You don't think I lost my mind? Go ask somebody that's about to graduate who we won our independence from. 9 times out of 10, they're going to say France. And I just answer with what language you speak. This country's rotten to the core. We need to reinstate the Constitution. Get the government back down to the size it's supposed to be. 3 secretaries in the cabinet. Secretary of State, Secretary of War, which is now Defense, and Secretary of the Treasury. That's the only authority the federal government was supposed to have. And now look what they're into. Homeland Security. Boy, you're doing a good job on that border, buddy. Department of Education. Oh, you're doing a good job in those schools. Our kids are what? The dumbest in the world now? Department of Agriculture. How are you farmers and ranchers liking that? Where the government gets to pick the winners and losers. Anyway, I'm just so sick of it. This Donald Trump's going to come in there and he's just going to magically, because he's there. Okay, it's going to take somebody that is not going to be afraid to hurt anybody's feelings, read the Constitution, stick to it, and enforce it. Is he going to be that person? Like I said, I would like to retire one day into the country that I was born into. I'd love to retire in that. Then we can get all this, get the fight on, so we can get this problem solved. So Lone Wolf Prepper can get off YouTube. Isn't it crazy? I got on YouTube after the Oliver Anthony song. I mean, I had a channel about a year and a half before that, but I only put one video on. One day when I was upset with the pandemic really bad. But, I don't want to do this for a living. I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing this to spread the word, to get people organized, to get our side as motivated as the other side is, as motivated as this jarhead is to solve the problem. That's what this purpose of this channel is. I guess to be the strong voice of people that are afraid to say it. Anyway, to fix this rotten core is going to sit there and take a lot of truth, justice, and the American way. We're all going to, I guess, have to turn into our own little Superman and stay true to course. Okay? Remember, this isn't about us anymore. This is about our children and our grandchildren. Okay? I just went to yesterday as an Ogallala because I was at my grandson's birthday party. Nice strapping guy. 1 year old. But is he going to have the same opportunity I had? I mean, when the politicians are saying Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, that are constitutional rights are not absolute, the amendments are not absolute, which brings me to, if they're not absolute, that means the 22nd Amendment wouldn't matter and Barack Obama could run for president again. But anyway, to live free, to have the opportunities that every American should have, no matter what your color is, or your race is, or your religion is, or however you're different. It saddens me. I don't understand how Democrats' sense of freedom is the government okaying everything. Our sense of freedom is government. I don't care what you say. I don't care if you say it's okay or not okay. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not affecting nobody's life. I'm just living my life the way I want. But the Democrats all need permission, I guess, to live like that. Special laws. This country isn't based on special laws. It's based on treating your fellow American with respect and them treating you the same and being able to live your own life. And guess what? I disagree with you, but we can still get along. The divisiveness that they've done in this country. I see it on YouTube all the time. I do watch some of the other side. And it's saddening to see these people drink the Kool-Aid. I mean, they think if the government gives them the right, the federal government has an abortion law that gives them the right to have an abortion. That's freedom to them. I don't know how that's freedom. I'm sick of the abortion thing. I would never kill a baby inside the womb or outside the womb. I'm not going to force my beliefs on somebody else. I'm not going to get into the abortion debate like that. Because I believe there's freedom of choice. And if you choose to do that, then you pay the consequences for it. Okay? Came up to me and say, yeah, I wouldn't do it, but, you got to live your life. Which they do. I don't know their life. But we all pay the consequences for our actions. That's a big thing in this country, the bottom line with it. Why are we here? Because even in the 80s, I was hearing about political correctness, making sure you don't say the wrong thing to upset somebody. Of course, I never really gave a crap. But I was hearing this back in the 80s, slowly taking us over. And now we're here. Like I say, I saw this, the future, when I first got out of the Marine Corps. It was so obvious to me. The course this country had turned over the 8 years I was in was crazy. And it's still far worse. I thought it would ever get, American people I thought would have stood up long before this, especially when we got the moral high ground. We got the Second Amendment. Who wants to do this? I don't, but I definitely don't want to keep living in this situation we're living in. And when I parade Joe Biden in front of the cameras in prime time like that, that is not the America I was born into. No, it's not me watching Ronald Reagan or being in the Marine Corps for 3 years under Ronald Reagan. And then I'm supposed to change my mindset to this crazy stuff? America is going to go through some serious changes. If we don't fix this, we're going to be slaves. If we fix this, our lives are going to be interrupted for possibly years. But our children's lives and futures will be saved. Does everybody understand now? It's not about our generation, it's about the younger generation. I mean, they're trying to make us slaves, and we're fighting it. What about the younger generation that can't even defend itself against this stuff when we're gone? And then the children being born, let's say 30 years from now, I ain't going to stand a chance because everybody who thought like us is going to be gone. Our time is limited in so many ways. So, one thing I'd like to say too, only took 20% of the population to beat the mightiest army in the world at the time of our revolution. What are we going to do when the illegal population in this country gets around 20, 30, 40%? And then remember, all the Democrats will be siding with them. It's bad enough the border was a major. You remember months ago, border was a major crisis, which it's still. It's a crisis. But our country is facing a crisis which the whole world is seeing. The leader of the free world is losing his mind. And the people that pulling the strings are going to bring the world into a fiery hell before they give up what they've achieved. Anyway. And if anybody thinks Donald Trump's going to get into office and just sign some executive orders and be tough for a while and fix this, but the lobbyists will still be in the Capitol. They ain't going to get rid of them. The corruption will still be there to the core. We need a serious shaking of the tree. This, like I say, for future generations, we need to act now. And we need to be as harsh with them as they want to be with us. But the thing is, we're just obeying the law, following the law of this country, the Constitution. That piece of paper that has inspired so many people in so many countries to be free. And now it's all been taken over by a dark cloud of evil. Well, I'm not afraid to speak. Anybody who thinks I am, I ain't afraid to say crap to nobody. I don't care what your position is. I don't care how much money you have. You know why? No human being holds nothing over me. I'm completely independent. Thank you, Carol. Tell you what, Carol, you're a good subscriber. You know, when I get down about YouTube playing their games with me and stuff, I got to remember, even if I'm talking, like say in the pandemic, say just one person. If I'm talking to just one person, that person has a mouth and can start talking to somebody else. That's what they want to stop. The communication. Like I say, I got a plan where I can make my channel explode and there's nothing YouTube could do about it. I just don't want to be, I don't know, the tip of the spear. I always want to sit there and kind of fall in. Fall in, Marines. This is your assignment for today. But I guess I'm taking more of the tip of the spear type of position. And like I say, I don't understand all these other channels on YouTube that can't say what I say. I don't understand. I think they can. Like I say, it comes down to the money. If YouTube gave a decision, we'll let you say whatever we want, you want. We'll promote your channel just like we promote all the other channels. We'll give you a free shake. It's just you won't make no money on your channel, but we will. Go to another platform where I got to pay to hear what you really think. Do you think people back in the 1700s paid the town crier? See, motivated by money, motivated by money. And until Americans can stop thinking that way, they got us all chasing that carrot. Not me. I'm outside looking at everybody chase that carrot. And it's kind of funny at times. And it's very stressful at other times because it clouds their judgment. That's why I live such a free life. I don't know. I just wish other people would feel the freedom I do. Then they wouldn't chase the dollar bill. I mean, why sit there and try to be multimillionaire when you die so that the people, your kids, oh, great, dad's dead. Can I have my check, please? Anyway, I don't see, you can't take it with you. The love from my children I can take with me, my memories, my experiences. That's one thing, and grumpy old man Burgess Meredith when he said, it's about the experiences. That's what it's about. You're only on this earth for a short amount of time. Okay? Experience the best of it you can. But if you're going to sit there and chase money your whole time, and that's your ultimate goal, you're never going to be happy because you'll never get enough. So, anyway, I just don't know why they do that. Anyway, so that's my spiel on the rotten corn and all that stuff. Anyway, what we all need to do is prepare for what's coming. Okay? And I really think we need to prepare for absolutely no support from any type of public services at all. That'd be police, fire, ambulance, trucks running to stock the grocery stores. I'm just reading your thing. Yeah. Well, this is the thing, Carol, about the videos removed. How come I can say whatever I want? If you would have watched my last Friday Night Live, my rant, the last 7 minutes of it, what I said to YouTube, I understand. But, I'm not going to back down. I don't want to go to these other platforms because I'm not going to make somebody have to pay to listen to me. I find that silly. To me, that's just adding to the problem that we have. Anybody who's got to pay to listen to me can spend their money wisely somewhere else. And all the knowledge I have, all the skills I have, I'm willing to teach for nothing. Knowledge should be free if somebody's willing to learn it. And I can teach it. But, I've never had a video removed. I mean, even my Joe Biden one, where I sat there and messaged to JoJo and the U.S. government in the horse you rode in on. Okay? Nothing. Me sitting there saying about, that's okay, about missing it. But I know you watched the afterwards. But anyway, I can say whatever I want. I'll go on about the clot shot. The pharmaceutical companies need to be held accountable. I listen to a lot of older radio shows on YouTube. One of them's Gunsmoke. I listen to a lot of Gunsmoke episodes. And I actually like them better than the TV show. But you listen to the commercials on there. Sometimes they play the commercials. And the way they used to sell cigarettes. My Lord! Get it in the new Christmas packaging. 2 cartons. The Breakfast Club where you heard, yeah, my dad got me a carton of cigarettes for me and said, smoke up, Johnny. Yeah. Advertising cigarettes for Christmas presents. This is the same thing that's going to happen to the pharmaceutical companies in about 20 years. But I'm saying that. Okay? I'm saying they stole the election. Not because I think, I'm just taking JoJo's word for it. We have established the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in American politics. And then they won when he wouldn't leave his basement. I believe JoJo. I believe that should be used in a court of law against him. Hopefully one day it will. So it upsets me. Like I said, I made that video about if you're afraid to say something, you're censoring yourself. If you are afraid to say something anywhere, except yelling, fire in a theater, that stupid stuff, then you're just giving the other side power. You're giving them the control they want. Now, I don't know why YouTube won't cancel me. I don't have the foggiest idea. Call the United States government the enemy of us and in the world, which it is. I speak truth on this channel, and they don't stop me. The only thing they do is they put me in that soundproof room sometimes. And then other times, I guess people are asleep at the wheel and boom, off it goes. I mean, you realize I have got over 185,000 views and I only got 360 subscribers. With the shares and likes I've had. And then I look at also in the analytics, the return viewers. And that goes up every day by quite a few, which is a lot higher than my subscriber count. And that's what I like to go to, people that are coming back. I don't care if you don't subscribe. I want you to hear, especially my thoughts of the day. So you start thinking, using your head, and look at life as through the lens of reality. And stop living a life hoping to hear what you want to hear. The only person that's going to make your life better is you. And listen to all this retarded stuff isn't going to help. Oh yeah, I'm gonna listen to that song. Adam Grant. I can't wait. I tell you what, there's a lot of them coming out. Like I say, they give us so much material. If I was a stand-up comedian, oh, would I really have a live show? Yeah. Yeah, I went to the thoughts of the day. I went to the racism thing because it really bothers me. I get sick and tired of being told I'm a racist. I had friends that when I was in the military, that when I would go home and I'd be talking about them, I had to stop and think to what color they were. I did never, when I'm talking about it, they're just my friend. And then I had to physically, consciously remember, and I'm not saying I did it in a bad way, but, I don't know. They were just another person to me. And I'm getting sick of calling a racist because I disagree with a black person. There's lots of black people I agree with. One of them happens to be Clarence Thomas. The biggest Uncle Tom there is, right, Democrats? Eat your own. Okay? Yeah, but the thoughts of the day are, gets people to think. Watch it, think about it, go to, get pissed off or whatever. Watch it again, go further down the rabbit hole. This is what happens when you're looking at corruption, when you're looking at evil. Looking at evil and dealing with evil should bring the best out in people. Shouldn't it? Facing your strongest adversary needs to bring the best out in you. So, and that's the point we're at. I'm just so afraid of what they're going to do. I mean, it is so obvious that Joe needs serious medical help and he's being used. And the Democrats are just imploding. And remember, they're in charge of the nuclear weapons. Or somebody in the White House is. 25th Amendment, people. Anyway. So things are going to get rough. Prepare for no support of public services. And people need to learn how to live on their own. People go on about, oh, you can't be a lone wolf. You'll never make it. I live a lone wolf lifestyle. Where I work, we don't have, like I say, everything's either 100 miles away or a week away. Okay, we get a bad snowstorm comes through here, we're snowed in. But the cows still have to be taken care of. We still got to do our work every day. We're prepared to last months, still running our equipment, everything we need to do our jobs. That's how you need to start preparing. However long it may be. The best place to get good stuff is old stuff, okay? We all are sick and tired of dealing with Chinese-made stuff, the new stuff. And I want to go on a side note about that. One thing that worries about me about bringing our manufacturing back to this country, which is a good thing. Let's just hope they didn't learn from China's example on how to make cheap stuff. But we go back to the example of American made from the 50s and 60s and 70s. Okay? But go to those secondhand stores, those antique stores. Pick up your fishing poles. I mean, all that stuff there is just, and a lot of it's in pristine shape. Some of it's never been used before. Good axe, old axe, and shovels, engineering tools that are going to last. You know, you ain't gonna be able to run to the store like we do now and replace it every 6 months. You're gonna have to get stuff that's gonna last you years or the rest of your lifetime. Okay? And the best place to do that is the secondhand stores. And then knowledge, information in printed form. You know, yeah, all scenarios. You know, that's the thing about a lone wolf. I think that's, I don't want to say it like this, but it's like the ultimate level of prepping because you are prepared for all scenarios. Okay. You know, no, if it's earth ending scenario, you know, that's different. But, you know, when you've been, like I say, basically, I've lived a lifestyle ever since I was a young kid, way young, to live a lone wolf lifestyle and just get into nature. And I just, you know, but, you know, I've been prepping for all scenarios. And like I say, my military experience, I can give the enemy a good push. But yeah, printed books. Because not only for you, but these are books that are bought now are going to be used for many, many years to come. They're going to be worth their weight in gold, just like they were in the Dark Ages. You had a book that was full of knowledge. My goodness, you had gold. Oh, how the hawk chicks do it. I'm going to get a video of them tomorrow. I went out there today, and what I do is I set my camera up and my tripod, and I go leave out of there. And today my camera got too hot and it shut down, and I lost my video, and I was too busy where I couldn't go back. But tomorrow I'm going to go back in the morning and see if I get some good shots. But holy cow, are they getting big! I can't wait till they start jumping around the branches trying to fly. You know, that's how I find peace. That's where you find out when you're watching that stuff. You're just a little speck in the scheme of things. And your job is not to control anybody, but just go with the flow. Let everybody and every animal live their life and don't interfere. Like that video today I had of that doe. She was, I bet you any money, she was standing right by her fawn. Okay. And she ran off. And then I had that snake that was just, she had her babies there too on the ground, I'm sure somewhere. But most people go, oh, I want to go in and see that fawn. The second you do that and that fawn gets up and runs, you just killed it. Okay? Because mom won't be able to find it. Same with cows. By the way, you just let nature be. Don't push it. And it just, you blend in with it. That's why these animals, it's kind of, they don't run from me like they're really getting used to me, which is nice. I mean, those swans I got with those 4 babies that day, that was so cute. But you know, they just kind of stood there and posed for me. Usually you get that stuff as soon as they see me stop, they're gone. But they're getting used to me. But weren't those baby swans so cute? I want one. Somebody wrote me a message saying, boy, I hope that's electric fence. Those babies can get pretty mean. But anyway, yeah, the hawk chicks are doing good. So anyway, back to the books, the reference material, written down. Because when we lose power or we get knocked back a few hundred years, okay, computers ain't going to do nothing for the average person. Yep, just give them their space in nature and they'll give you yours. Nature only reacts if they feel threatened. kind of like human beings. When we feel threatened by our government, that we ain't going to have our space. That's one thing I always say. Human beings are animals too. You want to see teenage boys act? I'll take you out to a pasture with two young bulls on a Friday night and take you to town to a street corner. You're going to see the same type of action. I've studied human nature so good because I studied animal behavior and just noticed it in human behavior. Okay. But anyway. Okay, the printed books. And then also entertainment. Board games. Things we used to do back when we were kids, before computer games and before cable TV and all this other stuff. I lived out in the country that we didn't have cable TV. We got one channel. But, that type of stuff. Cards. Books to read. Very important to keep the mind stimulated. And reading is very important for that. Plus, it can, you get your books. I like my Westerns. And you can escape for a while. Especially if you're dealing with a lot of stress. To get that 10 minutes just for your mind to escape it. It helps. So, anyway. That's all I think I got for tonight. All I know is I'm getting sick and tired of them parading Joe Biden out in front of us in the world to show what kind of feeble, he just, like I say, it's getting to the point where I almost feel sorry for him. Send him to the wolves. He needs proper care. You Democrats are willing to sit there and set the whole world on fire just to keep what you think you have, the illusion of control over us. It's sad. But like I say, it's even sadder that they're still able to do it. Okay? Anyway. Come along with Prepper. Let's organize. Let's figure out how we're going to solve this problem. Come up with a plan, a mission statement. Let's do the right thing. Whoever said doing the right thing was going to be easy. Whoever said doing the right thing wasn't going to hurt some people's feelings. All I know is I want to do the right thing. So my grandkids now can live in a free world. They're already financial slaves. Government borrowing money from unborn children. What kind of people do that? Taxation without representation. Okay, these babies that aren't even being born yet. Where's their representation in Congress for the money they're spending of theirs? We just let it go on. Because nobody wants to live without McDonald's and Walmart for a week. I guess maybe since I don't deal with Walmart or McDonald's or the nice cushy things in life, I'd rather just live the simple life. That I'm willing to live without that because I always do. Anyway, but we got the Democratic Party under the big top, and the circus has begun. It's going to get crazy. It's going to be historic. So it's time for everybody to feel the destiny that history has in store for them. And that's what I'm doing. And that's what I'm going to continue to do until the problem is solved and I can go back to my simple life. Anyway, everybody have a good evening. This is the Lone Wolf Prepper, out.